Have you been painting at all?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I painted last week, and
Did
I
you?
shall paint tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Who are you painting with?
Teresa.
Oh, good.
She drives me and
Makes
rolls
you-
my stuff, so I can paint.
She's a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Shall I go and get some lipstick on?
Only if you want.
Would you like to?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
You look good.
Do I
You
look
look
okay?
good.
And this is on the card for the show at the Epperson Gallery with
Yeah.
you and Jerry Turner.
Mm-hmm.
How did it happen that you and Jerry got a show together? Was that
I asked if they would have Jerry.
wonderful? And do you mind my asking why?
No reason.
No reason.
No, I just like Jerry.
And he's a wonderful painter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've been painting together for a long time, so I thought it would be nice to ask Jerry to paint with
Well,
me.
he's delighted.
I hope so.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at the Epperson Gallery now, and what is the title of the show?
It's called Let's Have a Look.
Let's have a look.
And that's something that Pam Glover would always say. We'd pull up to a place that looked interesting to paint.
Oh, okay.
And we'd get out to take a look at the scenery. And she'd say, okay, let's have a look. And it's sort of
I
a
see.
little bit
I
of
see.
English.
I see.
And let's have a look.
Let's have a look, Ducky.
And let's have a look. And so we'd get out and look. And then this happened enough, so we started saying this when she wasn't there.
I
And
see.
say, well, let's have a look. And so all of a sudden, it became a Pam-ism.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, that'd be good for this show.
So this show opens December 5th at Epperson Gallery.
You haven't seen the show yet.
I haven't seen it hung, no.
You're going to see it this afternoon?
I am.
Will you call me and tell me what it's like?
Absolutely, yes, yes. And I hope to be there at the opening.
I hope to be there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's out in Fairfield,
Okay, yeah.
this beautiful place.
Washing Day in Sassoon.
Mm-hmm.
So you went out last week and repainted.
Yeah.
Does it look the same now?
No, it never looks the same because the trees have all grown up and got big and
Oh, is that right?
covered up the houses. So I went and painted the other side of the houses, and it was a disaster.
When did you paint this originally?
Last year,
So it's changed that much?
yeah,
Okay.
it changes every year. And this one is Sierraville.
And where is that?
That's up near Grey Eagles.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful place. So I think this one is the beach I used to go to a lot, Bahara Beach.
Loma Linda Beach House. Now,
Yeah, Loma Linda, it's a great place. You go up on a levee and you paint all these houses down below. It's a great place to paint.
what year was this? Do you remember?
A couple of years back, yeah.
Your colors seem so much brighter
Yeah, my colors are much brighter. On the levee
Okay.
over here,
on the
and
left.
looking over there, I've got some boats that I painted from there too.
How big are these, Pam? How big are these?
20 by 24.
They're all the same?
Yeah, about the same. And this is just around the corner here.
Garcia Ranch.
Garcia Ranch Road, yeah. And then this one is the Fianza Winery. That's always a fun place to go to paint, and I haven't been back there in years, so let's go there. Maybe this week I'll go there.
Now this says Mondavi Vineyard. Is that...
Mondavi was from no, it's not. The name is wrong.
Oh, the name's wrong.
Mhm.
So where is Fianza?
Fianza is
And
on
then...
highway, is it 29?
Oh, okay, on the Napa Valley Road.
On the top of the hill. They're
Mhm.
huge. And this is Mondavi too. Mhm.
This says Duhigg Road. Duhigg.
Duhigg Road, yeah. It's Mondavi Winery.
Was this a recent...
They're all pretty recent. These are
Okay.
all pretty recent.
And when you paint... This looks like you might have painted a red wash underneath. Do you
No,
do
blue.
blue?
I always
So you
painted-
always paint
painted
blue.
wash underneath, yeah.
And what does that do for you?
Well, if I leave a space, See, if I leave a little space,
Mm-hmm.
then the blue shows through, and it gives a sort of sparkle to it. Instead of having white canvas showing through, you can see where it shows through here.
I see.
And instead of having white canvas showing through, which is very ugly, you have the blue coming through, and it enhances your painting instead. So you can leave spots all over. See?
I
See lots of spots in the trees.
Yes. And do you always use the same color blue?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's worked for you for years.
What?
That's worked for you for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Jerry colors all different colors, doesn't he?
He does.
This is
This is autumn
painting.
too. Is that up on the Napa Valley?
That's up in Green Valley Road. And
Oh.
this year it is just all red. It's a blaze.
Is that
It's
right?
amazing.
These are vineyards that are
They're
red?
vineyards, yeah.
Okay.
These are awfully nice.
Aren't they well done?
Hmm
Um,
I think they're done by this friend of mine.
The by Epperson, Jerry.
Jerry
Jerry
Epper-
did those?
Do you want to keep them?
Do you want to keep?
Can I keep
Yes,
them?
definitely.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to keep
Yes,
them.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did I first start painting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, years ago, when I was in school, my parents realized that I liked painting better than school, so they got me a teacher. I had a Russian teacher, Miss Popov, who came to the house twice a week after school and gave me lessons. And that was for about 2 years, so I got the best grounding you probably could ever have.
As a child? How old were you then?
17, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
And so I had classes from her. And then this was in China, and she was a White Russian, and the White Russians couldn't get out of China. When the Japanese came, they had to stay there. And then they couldn't get out because they hadn't got a passport, and no country would accept them. So they went to after the war ended, they went to the Philippines, and then they finally came down here, and she came down here, and I never got in contact with her. I wish I had.
Oh, goodness.
But she came, many of the White Russians came here. So, you know, they came down from the north of China, and they were stateless. They were the creme de la creme of Russians. And they had the educations, and the communists were throwing them out.
And was their style the style of people like Feshen and Gaspard, sort of the traditional impressionism that?
She did all kinds of things to make money. She painted cushions and did the most beautiful cushions you've ever seen, with women on, and she did the most gorgeous things. Anything that would sell, that she could sell in China. So.
And she taught you studio painting?
3 years, yeah.
Studio
And
painting.
I have some of the paintings here. I can't
Oh,
find,
do you? Oh.
Yeah, that I did with her.
How
Of
interesting.
my school friends, and I painted we had servants, so I painted the boy and the cook and the coolie. And I got paintings of them, portraits of them.
Oh, that would be wonderful to see.
Well, I don't know where they are in this house.
Wouldn't that make a great show, though?
What?
Pam Glover's early work with the White Russian teacher?
Yeah,
Be interesting.
maybe I should give them to Jerry, find them.
And put them up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I'll go and have a look and see. I have an idea.
Well, when did you start painting outside? When did you start plein air?
I didn't start painting outside till I met Lundy Segrist, and I was doing mixed media at the time, and he broke his leg. And so he was doing mixed media. He wasn't doing plein air painting either. And when he broke his leg, Terry took him out.
Terry St. John?
Took him out for the first time. And Anne-Marie would drive him.
Anne-Marie, your daughter?
Yeah, would drive him. And I came back from England. I'd been in England. I'd been pretty sick, and I'd been in England for a while. And she said, "Oh, Mother, come with us." And I said, "Oh, he hates women."
Who hates women?
Lundy.
Lundy? Oh.
So they didn't want women on the painting with them. So she said, "But I've been painting with them." So I said, "Well, you call him up, and if he'll have me, then I'll come." And so I started painting then. And I can't remember when that was, but it was my mixed media period had finished, and I was wanting to do something new.
And was Lou Segrist part of that then?
Yeah, and I can remember sitting on the back of the seat of my car painting, and he was painting too. And I said, "I don't know what to do with these skies." And he said, "Oh, I take them all home, put them all on the ground and paint them all green." And I inherited one of his paintings. It's terrible.
That was Lou?
That was Lou.
Oh my goodness.
So there are a lot of his paintings out there with these green skies.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think they've been shown anywhere yet.
I don't think I've ever seen. So that's Lou Segrist of the Society of Six.
Yeah.
Painted green skies. Very interesting. And didn't he outlive his son?
Yeah.
He outlived his son Lundy.
Yeah. But he didn't paint much after Lundy died. He was pretty sick, I think. And of course Lundy died of cancer. And we used to go out painting even when he was sick. But he'd just sit there and paint a little bit, you know?
Yes.
And I'm determined I'm going to paint a lot.
Well, you are. You're teaching and you're...
Yeah. The last one I did is a nice little painting. It's a little painting. It was a good little painting. I'll show it to you when you go out.
Oh, wonderful. You know, I remember seeing your work for years, Pam, at the Maxwell Gallery in San Francisco. A fabulous gallery.
I was 19 years with them.
19 years.
And I had 19 one-man shows.
Did you? And you sold them out, I remember.
Oh, she used to say they'd fly off the walls.
Oh, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Now, you were one of the first women to really break into this plein air painting. And what was that like?
Oh, I loved it because, you know, I can pee out behind a bush and it doesn't worry me at all.
Well, that's quite a talent.
Yeah, well, see, my students are much more...
more genteel.
Refined.
More refined.
They won't do that.
They won't.
But I open the car doors and go wherever I want to go, even if I'm on a freeway.
Wow, I'd like to see that on the freeway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Backpack an awful lot.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I did with my husband for years. And we'd lead Sierra Club trips into the mountains.
Oh, you did?
With 5 families and 5 mules.
Oh.
And it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And then a woman died on our trip. And, you know, I got to feel that these trips that we were taking, the people would be in their 40s, and they'd go into the mountains, and they wouldn't be acclimatized to it. And so they got sick, and they nearly all got sick. And so when this woman died, I thought, well, I don't think we better take any more 40s in there with children, because if anything happens to the children, it's really hard to get them out. Then I decided, okay, we'll do a teenage trip. Well, that was a disaster. they all smoked marijuana. They broke all the rules that they weren't allowed to skinny dip, but they all just went in skinny dipping. And then the food was, they got in line for the food, and as soon as they got their plate full of food, they moved into the second line, ready for the next lot. So, to keep them fed was something else.
Yeah. They didn't offer you any marijuana?
No.
Oh.
So they
did you
knew it was
paint
against the rules.
Did you paint on these trips, or was this before
No,
you
I
were
couldn't
painting
paint
outside?
on these trips. Too much. You can't carry your stuff,
Uh-huh. Were you painting outside at that time?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wish I had.
You probably
because
were thinking of painting.
we went to beautiful places, and I wish I had. But, my husband was more into the backpacking, and I was the one to carry the load behind. Yeah.
Well, it sounds fun.
How long ago did you lose your husband?
10 years. Mm-hmm.
That's been hard.
Mm-hmm. He had Alzheimer's.
Oh.
So really difficult.
How would you characterize your style?
I don't have any character. Don't know.
You don't have any character?
I don't know. At the moment, I don't feel I've got anything.
So not impressionism, or you wouldn't put a name on it?
No. I just have to go out there and have fun.
Have fun.
And paint. And I think Jerry does the same thing.
That's exactly what he said. He goes out and has fun.
Yeah.
Now, talking with him, he had a number of crises, and then after he had a crisis, he'd start painting in a different way.
Yeah.
Have you found that with yourself?
No.
No.
Mine's just evolved. I haven't changed much over the years.
But you did say when you started painting with Lundy and Lou that you got more color.
Oh, yes. Well, I first started with them.
Oh, okay.
Painting. So,
Okay.
I started with a lot of color. And that was the way I liked to paint. And so that's how it evolved. And it's changed over the years.
And how has it changed?
It's got brighter. See, these are older ones here. See?
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're much, they're, and this one's an interesting one here. This one here,
Yes.
I did that in France. And if you notice, there's a whole lot of people on the side there. They were all artists painting. And I thought, I can't go and paint with all those artists. I'm too embarrassed, so I go to the head of the little harbor, and I stood here. And then I wish I could remember his name. When I got back in one of the artist magazines, the same painting, but done in warm colors, was in the artist magazine, and it was one of the well-known artists here who had done it.
Is that right?
And he'd done the same thing, gone away from the artist,
Oh.
and painted at the end of the pier.
How interesting. Where in France was that? Normandy?
Honfleur.
Oh, Honfleur.
Yeah, near Normandy.
Where was Monet painted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more of a monochromatic, not a lot of color.
No.
This is certainly beautiful.
Yeah, and I did that in Switzerland too.
That's Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So do you travel a lot?
I did, because Anne-Marie lived in Switzerland.
Your daughter?
And my parents lived in England, so I went every 2 years, either to Switzerland or to England, to see them. And Anne-Marie would paint, and she was a bit wild at that time. She painted those mountains, see, a bit wild.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I started painting there, and the light is so different, and it's sort of gray. And I thought, you know, I can't paint all these gray. These houses are all gray. So I painted them all bright blues and greens.
Oh.
So they weren't, like I would do here. I thought, I've got to make a decision. I'm either going to sit and paint as they are
Yeah.
in the grays, like you've seen them in the
Yes.
grays, or I'm going to paint them bright. So I changed after doing several in the grays. I thought, this is enough of this. And so I painted the bright ones.
Well, that's what the Society of Six did.
Yeah, well, I made that decision because I sat out there painting all these gray, cold buildings and decided that's not what I want to do. This is the place that I go to take my students there a lot. I'm going to take them there on Wednesday.
You are?
Mhm.
So you're teaching how often now?
Every Wednesday.
This is ranch cattle.
Every Wednesday.
You're continuing with your and you've been doing that for how long?
Teresa for 25 years. Teresa is coming with me next week to drive me there.
Teresa and Noda.
Yeah, and she's going to take over my class.
Oh, she is?
She will take over my class, yeah.
Now, you have a group there are dozens of students that you've taught over the past 25 years.
Big group of them.
How many?
Well, there's 17 in the class now.
Wonderful.
Oh, you want to come?
Oh, look at that. And that's called the Glover Group.
Yes, they named themselves the Glover Group, and they're going to have a show in the library, I think, this year, in the Rinda Library.
Okay.
So I think that'll be great for them.
You know, when I first met you, I went to a show in, it may have been Lafayette, of the Glover Group. It was in a bank. Does that ring a bell? I think it was Lafayette. And even then, this was many years ago, you had taught so many artists. So you really have been
25 years now.
Important in the Bay Area for the painters.
Well, I don't know that I'm important, but I give a lot of pleasure, I think, in painting. That they come and they paint every week. And they are getting a bit mad with me because I keep going back to the same places, but you know, it's really hard to find new places where you can take 17 people.
Well, I imagine.
And can I get you a cup of tea?
What are the considerations? The parking and bathrooms?
And also, no, bathrooms. We don't worry about bathrooms.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
They have to go and find a bush.
Boy, you're tough.
But I'm hoping I'm going to make it on Saturday. I don't know. Usually we all go out to dinner, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So, is Jerry going out to dinner afterwards?
He always loves to. You know Jerry.
Yeah.
That's what it's about for him, is a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I can do that, you know.
Well, play it by ear, see how you feel.
Yeah, see how I feel.
Where do you think he'll want to go? Where do you think?
Well, you know, the little place we went to last time was great in Port Costa.
Oh, yeah.
Bull Run.
Bull something Inn. Bull Valley Inn.
Bull Valley Inn.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
That's very good.
Or we tried to go to the Dead Fish, but they couldn't take all of us. So they took us to the Bull Run. So I don't know, Jerry's making plans to go out to dinner. He probably is.
I'm glad we did.
I'm glad you did too, and it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beauty, Pam. Do you like that one?
Yeah,
I like
yes.
it.
Yeah. I'm doing quite well.
That you are.
Considering. That one was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So, you know, once a week I do a good.
Wonderful.
And then that was a good one.
Where is
I
it?
like
Oh,
this.
Inverness. Uh-huh.
Yes, I like this one.
So Teresa's driving you
that one, yeah.
around. Teresa.
Yeah.
well, they're
Difficult composition, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the lines. You know, the vineyard. How it's just so much nice energy going back.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Love her movement.
And I
Yeah,
love
uh-huh,
this
yes.
part too.
How
The
exciting.
trees meeting the sky with the clouds.
And the red trunks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I always put those in.
Yes, your signature.
Always put Lundy's. Louis Secrets always used to say paint red. Paint red.
Paint red.
Mm-hmm.
Lundy or Lou?
Picture of the
Louis.
Louis. He did use a lot of red, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love your dogs.
They're
This one
dark.
snores.
What's the dog's name?
Kelty.
Kelty.
And that one's Bianu.
Bayanu?
Bianu, goddess of fertility. And as soon as she was born, she was fixed. So
Oh.
it was really very good.
What kind are they again?
Norwich.
Norwich Terrier.
Norwich. That's English, right?
Yeah. You got
Oh,
that?
isn't it cute when a dog snores? I love
like
it. When a man snores, it's like.
Oh, it's
But when a dog snores, it's wonderful. I always wonder why that is.
Well, I'm going to go see the show, and I'll give you a call
Yeah, let me
when
know.
I get home.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to go today.
how would you characterize your style?
I don't have any character. Don't know.
You don't have any character.
I don't know. At the moment, I don't feel I've got anything.
So not impressionism, or wouldn't put a name on it.
No. I just have to go out there and have fun.
Have fun.
You know, and paint. And I think Jerry does the same thing.
That's exactly what he said. He goes out and has fun.
Yeah.
Now, talking with him, he had a number of crises, and then after he had a crisis, he'd start painting in a different way.
Yeah.
Have you found that with yourself?
No.
No.
It's just, mine's just evolved. But those are my daughters over there.
Anne Marie.
Come on.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Shall I put her in the other room?
No, that's fine. It's
Yeah,
as long
but
as I don't
they-
touch.
They haven't changed much over the years.
But you did say when you started painting with Lundy and Lou that you got more color.
Oh, yes. Well, I first started with them
Oh, okay.
painting. So,
Okay.
you know, I started with a lot of color. And that was the way I liked to paint. And so that's how it evolved. And it's changed over the years.
And how has it changed?
It's got brighter. See, these are older ones here. See?
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're much, they're, and this one's an interesting one here. This one here,
Yes.
I did that in France. And if you notice, there's a whole lot of people on the side there. They were all artists painting. And I thought, I can't go and paint with all those artists. I'm too embarrassed, so I'll go to the head of the little harbor. And I stood here. And then, I wish I could remember his name. When I got back in one of the artist magazines, the same painting, but done in warm colors, was in the artist magazine. And it was one of the well-known artists here who had done it.
Is that right?
And he'd done the same thing, gone away from the artist
Oh.
and painted at the end of the pier.
How interesting. Where in France was that? Normandy?
Honfleur.
Oh,
Yeah,
Honfleur.
yeah, near Normandy.
Where was Monet painted?
Yeah.
Yeah.